Good morning, students. In the previous class, we have discussed about the role of microorganisms in human health. We have discussed about the importance in the production of antibiotics and the formation of vaccines and other aspects. Today, we'll discuss about the role of microorganisms in agriculture. So, as we all of us are aware that we heterotrophs and other heterotrophs, we depend directly or indirectly upon the autotrophs for our nutrients, and out of which the different nutrients the body requires, protein plays a significant role in the proper growth and development of the body, because we know protein is a body building nutrient which helps in the proper growth and development of the tissues and the entire body. So for the formation of protein, the most important element which is required is nitrogen. In lesson 9, crop production and its management, we have discussed about the topic crop rotation. We have discussed that the successive cultivation of leguminous crops between two successive cereal crops is known as crop rotation. As we know, in the atmosphere, the abundant gas is nitrogen, around about 78%, but the plants, they are not able to trap the nitrogen directly from the air. So they depend upon the nitrogen, which is a very much important element for the formation of protein, and that is to be fulfilled by the soil. So how the soil, it gets enriched with the nitrogen. So we'll try to understand the aspect. We have also discussed that the certain group of plants called as leguminous plants, or means the plants which are of pulse origin, within their roots certain points nodule-like structures are present, and within these nodules specific nitrogen fixing bacteria or microbes are present, which help to convert nitrogen within the soil in the form of nitrite or nitrate salts, and the soil gets enriched by the nitrogen content. Now, if another group of plants or crops which are non-leguminous are grown within that same piece of land, we may observe the nitrogen would be in sufficient amount within the soil, and it would be easily available to the next generation of plants, helping it to grow and develop in a proper way. So, for example, the common bacteria, which is rhizobium, which is present within the root nodules of the leguminous plants, it helps to fix the atmospheric nitrogen from the atmosphere within the soil, thus enriching the nitrogen content of the soil. Just like there are also certain other life forms, for example, blue-green algae, also called as cyanobacteria. They also do the same role by just helping to fix the atmospheric nitrogen within the soil. So most commonly they are used in the paddy fields during the cultivation of the paddy crops, along with them to enrich the soil with the nitrogen content As paddy is a non-leguminous crop, it requires much more amount of nitrogen for the proper growth and development. So that can be easily fulfilled by just using the blue-green algae or cyanobacteria during the cultivation of paddy crops within the fields, as well as certain blue-green algae. They are also associated with the roots of cycas plants, thus helping in the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen to the soil. Now we'll discuss about the probiotics. First of all, before entering the topic, let us try to understand that we all are aware that the complete digestion of food do takes place within our small intestine, and the absorption is followed within the small intestine with the help of finger-like processes which are known as villi. From this particular small intestine, now the next part which is associated in the digestive tract is the large intestine. So within our large intestine, large number of microscopic bacteria resides or survives there, which plays a very much significant role in building up the immunity and helping in the proper way of absorption of water, minerals within the large intestine. So these probiotics means they promote certain life forms. So from the word it has been derived probiotics, means promoting life forms, which are the dietary supplements of live bacteria or yeast, which help and can prevent and treat diseases through a number of mechanisms. One way is that they directly interact with the disease causing microbes, making them harder for them to cause disease. So, the consumption of probiotics is helpful in treating certain diseases, for example, to prevent or to treat diarrhea. So, these organisms they reinforce the natural bacterial barrier which lines the digestive tract within our large intestine. So they helps to reinforce them, to strengthen them, and they provides protection also against certain pathogenic organisms which may cause diarrhea. Certain microorganisms they are also used in the production of energy or as fuel production. For example, certain life forms or microbes they are used in the production of ethanol, which is used as a fuel through the process of fermentation. So we will discuss this aspect in higher classes. So just we try to know that certain microbes they are used also in the production of fuel. For example, ethanol is a type of alcohol which can be used as a source of fuel. Just like in the biogas plants, certain bacteria they are also helpful in the production of certain gas which is called methane gas or marsh gas, which is used as a fuel to light lamps or to even cook or to even light the street lamp, etc. One more important aspect of microorganisms is that they help in the cleaning our environment. Suppose, for example, we all of us are aware about this simple food chain that do we have mentioned here. The soil, the source of nutrients. It provides the nutrient to the first trophic level within any food chain, which is a producer, that is autotrophs. For example, grass, it consumes the nutrients from the soil, and the grass is being consumed by the next life form, that is deer, a herbivore, and the nutrient passes from the grass to the deer. When deer is being consumed by lion, the nutrient passes from deer to the lion, a carnivore, and when lion dies in the nature, the nutrient passes to the scavengers group, for example, the vultures, eagles. So these group of birds, they consume the dead bodies of the animals. So the nutrient passes from lion to the vulture, and when the vulture also dies, whatever the nutrient is present within their bodies, they are simply released and acted by a group of organisms which are decomposers, in which the members are certain bacteria and fungi. So not only the vultures, whenever the lion would be lying in the nature, they would be also can be decomposed by the decomposers, just like whenever the body of deer is lying, it may be also decomposed by the help of decomposers, just like when any producer is also lying in the environment, it is dead. For example, grass, it can be also decomposed by the decomposers to simple forms, and these decomposers will again release the nutrients whatever were fixed within these life forms, within the bodies of these life forms, whether nitrogen, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium, they would be converted into simpler forms and released into the soil again back, thus helping in the recycling of nutrients in nature and making the soil again rich with the nutrients for providing the aspect for the growth of next generation of life forms within the soil. So thus we may say that the decomposers, in which certain groups of bacteria and fungi are the members, they help in the maintenance of various ecosystems in the nature. First of all, let us try to understand what do we mean by ecosystem. We may define it in simpler words: the interaction between the biotic and abiotic factors. So we know the meaning. Biotic means life forms, and abiotic means different types of physical factors like light, water, soil, temperature, humidity, rain, etc. So we may define it as the interaction between the biotic and abiotic factors, in which they are tuned like a machine environment and driven by the solar energy forms an ecosystem. For example, do we observe different types of ecosystems in nature? For example, pond we may consider as a natural ecosystem in which the water, it provides the nutrients to the small microscopic life forms, in turn which are consumed by the fishes, and in turn they are consumed by some other groups of animals. Likewise, forest would be also act as an ecosystem in which all the aspects are fulfilled naturally through the natural process. Just like aquarium would be also an example of ecosystem, but it would be kept under an artificial ecosystem, means we have created the particular ecosystem by providing the water, the container, the oxygen gas, the food, and other necessary requirements required by the life form surviving there. So till so far here we have discussed about the beneficial aspects of the microorganisms. Till here, in the next class we'll discuss about the microorganisms as foes. Thank you. Have a nice day.